Let's dive into low back muscle work that you can do on your own with trigger point balls. I love the yoga tune-up balls for a couple reasons. One, they come as a set of 2 that come into a bag. You can take one out and use it by itself. I also love them for the density. So I love that they're not as hard as a lacrosse ball. They're also not as soft as a tennis ball, so they're just right. When we're working on our low back, you want to think low back is from roughly the bottom of that rib cage to that top of that sacrum there. So it's this spot right in here. You have the lumbar-paraspinals that we're going to work on, and also a muscle called the QL, which is going to go from our low back out towards our hip here. It's like a tented muscle, whereas the paraspinals are going up and down along that spine. So starting off, we're going to talk about how to use the balls when they are in the bag. Now you have this spot in between that the spine can go in between. So it doesn't have pressure on it because that's not going to feel as good to go over a bony landmark like that. So I'm going to start my low back, and I love using the wall because it means I can lean into it. So I'm going to use my feet to push into the wall. The farther out my feet go, the more of the incline, the more I'm going to feel. The closer up to the wall, the less I'm going to feel. So you're just going to go based off of the pressure that feels best for you. So I'm going to press back into the wall. The balls are basically rolling up and down along my paraspinals. I can stop and wiggle in a spot. But what I can also do, which I find oftentimes more effective, is taking one of them out, working on either side, but the side usually it's more uncomfortable. So right now I'm going to come off to the side, place the ball, press into the wall. Same thing where I'm going to incline enough that I'm able to get some pressure. But now I can add a little bit more movement. So I can rotate away, I can rotate into it and see what I feel most. I can reach around and kind of hug myself as I bend forward. And then again, play around with some rotation, flexion, extension. I can play around when I'm with my low back, with my knee coming up. So I'm going to lift my leg up, pull my knee in. I can pull my knee across. Now, if you're having any discomforts in your pelvis, then it would be good to keep both feet planted. So in your pubic bone or your SIs, if you're lifting up one leg, sometimes that can be too much during pregnancy just because of the laxity in the pelvis. So if you're finding that, all you need to do is just keep both planted. You can keep that pressure in the ball, into the wall, and you can still do movement, but you may stay away from that single-sided positioning with the legs. But if you are not having pain, that can be a really great addition into getting into those low back muscles.